Hey, up next on the MARR Army Rock Show, we have got Yessie with us from the band Chrysalis. They are out of Barstow, California, which is just outside of Los Angeles. They've got a great new album out called Reminder. It was released on January 13th. So, Yessie, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, Rocky.
Oh, that's all good, man. Yeah, so I'm really thrilled to have you. I'm a little bit new to your band, so I was really enjoying going through not just the new record, but going back through some of your catalog as I prepped for this interview. So, but let's talk about the new release. Now, I saw that it took about 2 years for you guys to make this thing. So, kind of walk me through that journey of the making of the record.
Well, we did a lot of touring after Focus on the Center because a lot of work was put into that record as well. And in the meantime, we just had a bunch of songs that either weren't used for Focus on the Center or songs that we had been writing on the road and during our breaks from tour. And we ended up recording with Ulrich Wild, that was a great experience. And we were able to take all of these songs, that are all very different from each other and kind of turn it into one cohesive album, which was definitely, it was quite a challenge.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to ask you about. As I was working my way through your record, that seems to be like, so I'm going through all these really heavy tunes, and I hit a tune like Angel, which, by the way, is a really cool tune I want to ask you about. But it seems to be kind of a trademark of your band, doesn't it, that a lot of the songs being different throughout the records?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've been a band that has continuously embraced diversity in sound, and it's either been it's either been good for us, or a lot of times it's been bad for us, because when it comes to shopping ourselves to labels, they often find that we're like too rock for metal fans, too slow for metal fans, but then too metal for rock fans. So we're like this rock band that's just kind of, stuck in the middle. But we wouldn't change that just to get a record deal, because if we found some kind of sound that we were repeating song after song, I think it would become very boring for us. I mean, this is just what we naturally do. We write from our heart, and and what comes out comes out. And what happens to come out with this band is just, this plethora of all kinds of different material.
Now, is that a function of different guys in the band writing, or in other words, when you do your writing, does one of you write one style or another, or do you all kind of write that mixture of music?
That's a pretty good question, actually, because I think some of the other guys, like Billy and Jared, the drummer and the bassist, they're more into metal than I am. Me personally, I'm into like all kinds of other shit, and the songs that I write before I bring it to the table are much slower than what happens at the end, because they get their hands on it, and they get their greasy, dirty hands on it, and then turn it into something much more intense and heavy a lot of times, which for me it's cool, because I get to see these songs progress into something that I had not anticipated. And that's the real beauty of creating, is whenever you have this vision of what you want to do, but then something even better comes out of it. I mean, it's such a joy to see that happen.
So, hey, up next, so the music video, that first video, My Eternity, man, that's a pretty dark video. Tell people about it.
Well, when it came time to release a single and shoot a video for it, we definitely wanted to go with My Eternity because it just sounds like a good, way to introduce the album. We also knew that we wanted to work with director Jonathan Martin, who has a pretty extensive background with independent horror films. So I knew that he was going to bring something pretty crazy to the table, and that's exactly what we wanted because, Jonathan isn't only, an ambitious director and a great visionary, but the quality of his work, if you notice, like the production quality is like spectacular. I mean, it's like watching a movie. And the music, Chrysalis music, tends to have that. It's very cinematic. It's kind of something that, could play along, with a horror movie or an action movie. And so when Jonathan and I had our conversations over the phone about the ideas for the music video, he wanted to do something that was, based off of the lyrics. And if you read the lyrics, it goes along with it perfectly. The lyrics are about, coming back against the odds to take revenge. Against someone who has maybe done you wrong. And, my ex-girlfriend actually wrote the lyrics, and during that time, I believe she was influenced by a book she was reading called The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which recently became a movie. And so that theme of revenge, carried itself into the theme of the video. And when he, Jonathan interpreted it in the, darkest way possible. There's like this satanic ritual where a spiritual medium, brings this murder victim, back to life, to take revenge upon her assailants. The people who murdered her. And when I heard the idea, initially I was thinking, this sounds like those cheesy old 90s horror films you remember Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I'm a huge fan of those types of horror films. Like blatant disregard of being cheesy. It totally owns it.
Hey, so I know you got a tour coming up. Why don't you tell folks about the upcoming tour?
Yeah, it starts on the 13th in Tennessee, and it's basically a full Midwest tour with Flaw and Whitney Payton.
Now, I noticed that you are starting that thing off, you said, in Tennessee. Is there any significance to starting in Tennessee on the same day that the CD comes out, or was that just a coincidence?
No, it's just a coincidence, but it's kind of cool.
So, for folks that are looking for a physical copy of the CD, are you going to have them on tour, or are you doing some kind of a release party?
Oh, no, we definitely have them with us. We can't wait to start selling them and getting the music out there. You could also get the digital download at anywhere music is sold online. iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, all that stuff.
So, hey, one or two more quick things here. I saw you have an interesting shirt, a Marilyn Monroe, tattooed up Marilyn Monroe shirt. Where did that idea come from?
I think we just came up with a bunch of designs, for proofing and see what all we were going to go with. And our manager wanted us to have something really colorful, and that was just kind of a way to really, have this, this cool shirt that's both nostalgic and very colorful at the same time.
was definitely a unique one, man. So it caught my attention. So, hey, one last thing. It looks like you guys are on the road quite a bit as a band. So, what do you guys do for fun on the road? You know, some bands play video games, some write songs. What does your band do to kill all that time on the road?
We put our headphones on and stare at our cell phones so we don't kill each other.
What's the
like we're totally over, like, you know, like we've been touring for a long time, we've been a band for a long time. We're like totally over like the you know, the camaraderie that, you know, that new bands have, like, yeah, Ninja Turtles, man. we're like no, like, don't talk to me until you absolutely have to.
Well, being in a confined space with folks will do that for you sometimes. So, hey, man, Jesse, I want to congratulate you on the release of the album Reminder. It's due out, without actually, as the time is there, January 13th. You can pick it up on all your digital spots. Go out and check out the music video to My Eternity. You can, go pick up that cool Marilyn Monroe shirt I was talking about on their store as well. So, hey, man, thanks a lot for being here on the show.
Hey, thank you, Rocky.